Rhetorical analysis. 40 minutes, 3 ideas, 1 passage to analyze. Now there's 3 steps to doing good on the rhetorical analysis part of the AP exam. The first is going to be avoid using ethos, pathos, and logos. Almost every AP student uses those 3 devices in their essays, and AP readers could get bored when they're reading yours. You want yours to really stand out, so avoid ethos, pathos, and logos. The second step is going to be avoid using a lot of quotation from the passage that's been given to you. So the AP readers have already read the passage, they know what's on it, and they want to hear your voice. The more quotes you use from the passage, the less of your voice gets expressed in the essay. The third part is you don't have to be the best English student to do well on the rhetorical analysis part of the exam. In fact, you don't have to know every term like polysyndeton, asyndeton. You can simply say comparison if you forget what a metaphor or simile is, and they'll get the point. As long as you connect your idea back to the author's purpose and the effect it has on the audience, you should be fine and you should get those points.
There's 3 types of essays on the AP exam. The synthesis is like an argument essay, but you choose between 6 sources you're given and develop an opinion. The rhetorical analysis, you analyze the rhetorical devices that the author uses to determine the purpose of the passage and write an essay on that. And then the argument, you develop an opinion based on given prompts and work it out in the given time allotted, which is 2 hours and 15 minutes. You want to focus on the synthesis the most, but manage your time well because you want to write, develop essays for all. And make sure to take those time writing seriously because they come in handy.
The synthesis essay is like the scrunchie. It's the beginning of your essay writing. You don't want to stretch the time too much or else it'll break. But you also don't want to use it enough because you need to develop that argument because it's a really important part of the grading. Now, you really want to use your voice in the essay because the readers want to hear what you have to say, not what the sources that they picked explain about the argument. So make sure that you use your voice in the synthesis essay. And remember, in all 3 essays, it's quality over quantity.
Oh, didn't see you there. I'm here to talk to you about the argumentative essay on the English AP exam. Firstly, do not be afraid to use personal anecdotes. They are key to getting a high score, and if you're able to incorporate a story of yours, it shows originality and gives the readers an interesting idea and a story that they will be more likely to give you a higher score on. And probably the most important part is that you read up on current events or look up online articles so that you could find broad ideas to link back to the prompt and show your applicability of the prompt and your understanding of it.
Hello, future AP students. My name is Seth McVeigh, former AP English 3 student. And what I'm going to tell you today, I have one tip for you. After you're done writing your essay, make sure you leave yourself some time, like 2 minutes or so, to review. Make sure you make no grammatical mistakes. Make sure your thesis and claims match what you're writing about. And just make sure your essay looks smooth and clean. And I promise you, if you do that, you'll get the grades you want on the AP score. You'll get the grades you want on Ms. Seto's essays and time writings, and you'll be better off. Thank you. Good luck next year.
Future AP students, on your essays, always develop your thesis in a very timely manner. It controls about half of your grade based off of your thesis. So always do good on that and do it within 10 minutes of getting your essay. So.
Hey y'all, I'm Candace, and to future AP English students, for your essays, even if you might get a 3, 4, or 4 on your essays, keep striving and keep improving on your essays to score better on your AP exam, which is super important.
Future AP student, I have some tips for you, and it starts right here. When you're doing your time writing, don't brainstorm for more than 10 minutes. There's a lot of juices flowing in your head, and you need to focus on one. Make sure you understand the prompt, and it's a go.
Read the passage first. Although some students tend to skim over passages, reading them is the most important part of the APMC. Students should skim over every passage first and read them according to time period, most modern first. This would ensure a comprehensive understanding of at least a few passages, so the maximum amount of points can be earned in the APMC.
Alright, tip number 3 is pace yourself. One important tip for success in APMC is to pace yourself. Oftentimes on the test, people have to guess on the last few questions because they don't evenly divide up the time. This can be avoided by never spending too much time on one question. If you aren't sure of an answer and you've spent way too long on that question, just make an educated guess and don't stress over it.
Read the context of the passage before the passage itself. The context can usually be identified by italicized text before the passage. Knowing the context of the passage can help the students understand the overall message, purpose, and viewpoint of the passage, which can help in answering questions about the passage.
Annotating the passage as you read along is an easy way to improve your scores on an APMC. The confusing language can be difficult to take in all at once. Annotating the passage as you read along is an easy way to help you compartmentalize the passage and understand it significantly better.
When answering questions in your APMC that involve the word accept, I recommend going through the rest of the questions and going back to that question, because by then you'll know what strategies were used throughout the passage and it will aid you in answering that question.
Tip 4, read the question carefully. Reading the question carefully can ensure that one doesn't miss an important portion of the question. For example, words such as not and accept are important in understanding both what is asked and the type of question, after which tips 1 and 6 may be applied. Some questions make clever use of the word most, so the test takers must take this into consideration. Aspects such as the topic or purpose of the passage. Tip 6. Studying rhetorical devices and highlight that in the passage. Studying rhetorical devices ensures that the student can easily recognize and distinguish the ones used in each selection. The recognition of rhetorical devices in a passage can help with later questions asking for the identification of rhetorical devices in the whole passage, and can contribute to a better understanding of the passages. Tone, which can help with other questions.
During AP English 3, expect to read a variety of books concerning serious
assignments
topics.
that you're going to be doing in AP Lang is going to be based off of the APMC, also known as the AP Multiple Choice. And basically what this is that you get an excerpt from whatever, and you get a very, very limited time to answer the questions based off of that excerpt. So my advice to you would be to really familiarize yourself with the structure of the questions and try to practice and pace yourself when answering the questions so you can be more comfortable with them, especially since it is worth almost, I think, 45% of your grade on the actual
Expectations for AP English 3, regarding the teachers. I gotta say, Miss Settle is a pretty amazing teacher. You will get the information that you need, and she will tear into, the depths of your soul when your writing is not where it's supposed to be. But she does it in a loving, motherly way, kind of. But you will definitely know where you are and how you're going to get to a better place in your writing with Miss Settle as your teacher.
The thing to expect out of English 3 AP are the essays. We read a bunch of essays, and it feels like we write one every week. But we also write tadpoles, which are like essays with little body paragraph summaries, basically. So we don't have to write as much as you think we do.
For getting through AP English is to read books, because it'll help you read faster and comprehend better when you're getting through your APMCs, and it'll help you complete more questions in the short amount of time that you're given. And another reason that you should read books is because it'll give you more evidence to put into your 3 essays that you have to do on your AP exam.
My tip to you as an incoming AP English 3 student is to be able to learn how to take constructive criticism. In class, we'll be doing a lot of peer review, so instead of taking what people are saying as negative, take it as a positive to build your writing skills and do better. And also, if you're struggling with your grades and stuff in English and you're not happy with your essay scores, I would suggest going to the teacher and asking her for constructive criticism as well to better your writing. And
for AP English 3, you should get a tutor, because halfway through the year, I didn't have a tutor, and I started doing really bad on essays. I didn't know what to do, so I needed help, and my tutor really helped me figure out how to write timed writings, and also for essays that were graded, my grade improved, and I feel like I did better on the AP test.
One strategy I have for AP English 3 is to know the rubric. Knowing the rubric helps you know what the readers are looking for and helps you prepare for the essays and the multiple choice section for the AP exam. Knowing the rubric has helped me be prepared for the AP exam and has helped me get better grades on my essays. I hope y'all take this advice seriously.
Hi, I'm Abby, and my advice to y'all is to make sure that you have a strategy for turning in your work and making sure that your work is able to be seen by the teacher. Y'all would be surprised the amount of times that the reason people get 0s or 80s on their work is because they didn't print it or they submitted it wrong online. So make sure you have some sort of plan to get that done, even if it's printing it the day of with some random teacher or going to the library.
So another thing to help you on your AP English 3 as a class is to know your rhetorical devices and have a wide variety of vocabulary that you can use in your essays. So it's important to know your rhetorical devices because it will not only help you on your APMC, but it will also help you on the rhetorical analysis essay. In the rhetorical analysis essay, you have to analyze the author's purpose and the strategies that they use. So it's a lot easier when you know the strategies and have lots of options. Also, one of the most difficult questions on the APMC portion of the test is when they ask you about rhetorical devices, because they always try and throw in some curveballs and difficult strategies and devices. So that's really useful and it will help you a lot on your success in the class.
So a really helpful tip for AP English 3 is to manage your time wisely. Junior year can get really tough and you're going to want to push it off, but writing an essay at 11:30 at night is not really fun, and if you just manage your time and do things ahead of the deadline, your life will be so much more easier and less stressful. You do get a lot of work in English and you're going to have to write a lot of essays, so I think just not procrastinating and getting it done and planning ahead of time to set aside time to read your books and to write your essays can really help you stay less stressed and more focused on whatever you need to focus on. So, my tip for success is that you should stay strong throughout the whole year, because towards like the 5th and 6th weeks, you don't want to do anything. And speaking from experience, after spring break, I said, I'm not doing anything. And my grades tanked and everything was bad. And I had all my APs, and I don't think I passed all my APs, but it's okay. What you should do is you should keep your steam throughout the entire year. And you should do that so that you can get into colleges that you want and your grades don't go like, so yeah, keep it up. Stay focused throughout the whole year. It'll really help you, like, trust me. And I know like it sounds weird like hearing it from a bunch of kids, but like honestly, just stay focused, and it's not really that hard. But once you start losing it, it just tanks. So you gotta keep on going.
Whoa!
Hey, you got any advice for your junior year?
Junior year? Oh my God. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Sandman, also known as Sandra, and let me tell you, junior year is horrible. So bad, so bad. But let me tell you how it can be not as bad. You gotta take care of yourself. You can't stress over every little thing, bro. Just take it easy. Just take it easy. If you gotta, take the late grade one day, take the late grade, Now, also, speaking of late grades, you should do things immediately. I know what I was doing junior year, when I was doing my classes, I started watching Game of Thrones in the middle of it, and let me tell you, I did that first semester, but the second semester I was like, you know what, let me be on my grind. This 6 weeks, I did all my homework in class. I got all A's. High A's, bro. I'm telling you, key to success. Do your work in class so that you don't have any homework. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're busy, you got swim, you got basketball, football, track, cross country, taekwondo, you know what I'm saying? Anything, bro. You just want to do all your homework in class so you don't have any homework at home. Now, here's another key advice that will help you all throughout your education career. Make sure you know your teachers. That way, you can get awards, you can get letter of recommendations. Those are my 3 keys to success to H junior year.
Hi, new juniors. My name is Sam. Here are some ways that you can survive junior year. Number 1, be sure to take care of yourself. Don't take off more than you can handle, and just try to live your year as stress-free as you possibly can. And the second thing is make time for your friends, because you only have 1 more year left with them after your junior year is over, so you're just going to want to see them as often as you possibly can. And that leads to number 3, which is manage your time, because you're going to get super stressed out if you don't plan things out ahead and if you
Success for junior year success would be to try your best to stay caught up in all your classes, because once you fall behind, it's going to be really difficult to catch back up. I would say do your work in advisory when you have extra time in class, when you have extra time at home, so that you have all your work taken care of and you can have fun later when you're done with all your work, because you don't want to like get tangled up in a lot of homework and projects and stuff like that when all you want to do is like relax.
Hey future juniors, my success strategy for junior year would definitely be to make sure you let yourself get enough sleep. I spent a lot of this school year falling asleep instead of going to sleep, which for me meant that instead of, like laying down, turning my lights off and going to bed, I would fall asleep at a random time and wake up at a random time, and then I'd have to rush to get ready for school, which I'm sure you guys know can be really stressful. So my advice for you then would be, whenever you're doing an essay or something like that, and it's just not happening for you, it's okay for you to take a nap or something. Like, you can go to bed early, because you can always just wake up early and then just finish it out then, because you're going to feel a lot better and a lot more refreshed with all that rest and all that sleep in you than if you just stay up cramming it. So yeah, make sure you take care of yourselves, you guys.